The following program is sponsored by John Chachis Insurance, your local farmers insurance agent located at 800 Avenue G in Ely, and brought to you as a public service by KGTV Channel 10 in Ely, Nevada. White Pine County Commission meeting, December 11th, 2019.
We'll start. Good morning and welcome to the Wednesday, December 11th regular scheduled meeting of the White Pine County Commission. Would you all please stand and join us in the pledge? Mike, why don't you lead us today?
Of course. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
As per the norm, we will start the meeting. If you have a cell phone, please turn it off. And we will start the meeting with 1 minute of meditation, prayer, whatever you want to call it. So for the first minute of the meeting, have at it. Okay. The first item we have on the commission meeting today is public comment. Do we have any public comment today? Is there anything from anybody today? You and George?
I didn't want to hog the platform, so if you want to, go ahead.
What's that? I said public comment, nobody else is here, so I said.
Oh, I thought you were going to comment.
Oh, no, I'll listen to you.
Another first, thank you. Mr. Chairman, on your agenda item 1F1, you're to consider the possible consolidation, consolidated tax alternate distribution interlocal agreement, giving the city a larger share. If the city has not committed any increase to that increase in particular to fixing the city streets, don't give it to them. They are squandering money now and trying to give away some of their revenue streams, which needs to stop. You can't do that. Such as the city corrals and failure to collect proper water usage at the golf course. Hundreds of thousands of dollars going nowhere. Now you're going to give them additional help. They need to reinvent the wheel. Good management. They don't have that. Mr. Chairman, on your agenda item 1G1, you're to consider taking 1% of the rental business tax revenue allocated for the aquatic center and giving it to the White Pine Golf Course. That 1% was specifically given to the aquatic center. If they don't need it, the tax needs to be reduced by 1%. The golf course has failed to report its growth in play one way or another over the last 3 years. The Tour and Rec Board has granted them a tremendous amount of money over the years. But just look at the last few years in particular. Where's the return? I want to remind you, golf is a luxury for a few and not a necessity for the masses. Mr. Chairman, on your agenda item 2D1, you're to consider the possible approval of the county's interest in the Ely City Corrals. I ask you to deny the lease. The city needs to keep that revenue stream and look harder at its management team to properly operate the corrals. They're not doing that. There's incompetence with the city management, and it must not be rewarded. The city should not lease to another its obligation to offer corrals for city residents. The $1 value is not acceptable to taxpayers. They're going to throw away $60,000 to $70,000 or more for $1? No, they have a problem. It's their management. Mr. Chairman, on your agenda, item 2B3, you consider the title searches for the 2020 tax sale. I ask you inform the city of your intended actions on property located in the city. The continued pathetic failure of city staff and their city attorney to properly address liens need to be addressed. I'm still having a problem with the property I bought. The city filed a lien against the original owner after I had bought the property. Now they're trying to collect from me when they have abated others with no collection whatsoever. Complete blatant discrimination, and it needs to stop. They can't do their job, they need to go. Mr. Chairman, on your agenda item 2C6A, you would consider a 3-year employment agreement for the golf professional. It does not state what the overall salary and perks come to. Only a salary of $54,000 for 6 months, 7 months. I think that's plenty. Doesn't show any other revenues, and it shows that the county pays a substantial part of the costs out there. We need the overall picture. Mr. Chairman, on your agenda item 6K, you consider the waiver of some fees. No waiver of fees. When you set the set of standards down for collection of fees for whatever purpose, they need to be collected from everybody, not this one-on-one thing. Baloney. Mr. Chairman, to date, there's been nothing from the economic development person representing White Pine County. Where are we at? What is being done? Is that person being paid? If so, what's the salary? Months ago, I talked to one person who I thought was with economic development, and I expressed a need for a coal supplier. I burn coal as well as others in the county. Here it is, fall and winter. No distributor. Someone's not doing their job. If you're gonna pay somebody for some, given job, they need to come across. Now, one report that I'm aware of, and I haven't missed too many meetings. Mr. Chairman, the county commission has yet to install a decent sound system. I remind you, there are people that have difficulty hearing, some of you folks, and it's been months. You promised me earlier, or at least it was mentioned by the district attorney several months back, it's the law. It's not something that just old George wants. It's the law. That's all I have at this time.
Thank you very much. Okay, anyone else? Any other public comment? Anybody? Last call, public comment? Hearing none, we'll move on to the rest of the meeting. We'll go to the 905 on page 2. It's the 905 Fire Commission. Oh wait, I have to recess the county commission meeting and open the fire commission meeting. And the first item on the fire commission meeting is public comment from the fire commission. Is there anybody in the public with comment on the fire commission? Anyone? Last call. Hearing none, seeing none, we'll move on. We will now open the 905 Fire Commission meeting. On page 2, item 1, it's a discussion update on fire district progress. Brett North, Fire Chief, and Ross Rivera. Brett, come forward.
Morning, everyone. Start off with our runs and calls numbers. For November 1st to December 9th, we had 21 medical type calls, 8 vehicle accidents, 1 fire, and 13 controlled burn notifications. 8 of them vehicle accidents, there was 5 in one day by land, so the day it snowed, it was busy. Update, November 16th, we held vehicle extrication training out at Station 1. Had Ellen Curtis come in and put that on. Had a very good turnout with county and city volunteers. I was pretty pleased with how many people showed up. Went good. Had all the SCBA's tested for the yearly testing. The compressors were tested. We're looking at setting up a firefighter 1 class, starting after the first of the year. Not to be held through city county, so city county volunteers can take it. Chuck Scott from the city paid staff is allowed to teach it through the state fire marshal, so we won't have to rely on the state coming on. Airport station checks, we're doing that every second Tuesday with Lance and Tim, and Cameron's been showing up, so we're getting that back in line. One ambulance had lost the turbo, we was able to get that turned around pretty quick. engine 231, and McGill had a pump leaking on it. We worked through the Eureka County Road Department, got that issue resolved. The handheld radios we got from the BLM, with Court Hall and myself was able to get them all put back together, programmed them, and started handing some out. T-shirts for the volunteers are now in. I got Cherry Creek and Lund's to them. McGill's and Bruce will be tonight, and then I just gotta figure out how to get out to Baker with theirs. The roof at Cherry Creek Fire Station, we got a bid from R&R on that. We're gonna have to replace the whole roof on it. We're in works on doing that. Ruth's Fire Station had one of the door openers fail. That's in the works, getting fixed. The training center in Lund needed a lot of work inside their building. A lot of lights didn't work, no outlet covers. County maintenance is in the process of that. The Lund bathroom as well, the washer and dryer's in, the shower's working, the toilet, and all that. So county maintenance did real well on that too. I think that's about it for November, kind of a busy month. Any questions?
Anyone got anything for Brett? Thank you, Brett, that's a good update.
Good.
Thank you so much, Brett.
Don't sit down.
You're not done, you're done. Got a lot of stuff here. Page 2 is the discussion update, report from the committee assigned at the August 14, 2019 Fire Commission meeting to streamline and coordinate efforts in getting the outlying volunteer fire department needs addressed in the most expedient manner possible. Lori Carson, Brett North, Mike Weevil, Bill Caldwell, and Elizabeth Francis. Who wants to take the lead on this?
Well, he just pretty much summed up the hit list and how much has been getting done. And you'll hear how heavy that was for the outlying departments and what advantage they're getting with the new model. But, I mean, I just think he should be commended for staying on top of that.
And I'd like to also say that Bill indicated to me, was it Monday or Tuesday, that there are a few other things he wanted to update the commission on as far as what was in the list we provided in your backup documentation and additional things that they got done through the maintenance department.
I think pretty much Brett covered it.
Did he?
Lund restrooms, we finished those up yesterday. One thing else that we didn't mention is there was issues with the sewer, those have all been repaired. We had to install a new pressure tank in there. The old one had sit for so long, we were just scared of the water that was kind of existing in it. Every time we use the sinks, we get some black something out of it, I don't know what it was. I didn't realize it until we went down there that that's a shared well with the school district. The pressure tank and the controls sit in the fire department, and it also serves, help me Carol, is that the Lund, is that the gym that's down there?
We call it the blue gym. It's actually the old gym that we got through a grant.
And I'm not sure how that agreement works, but it's working, so good enough. And then we did go up and look at the Ruth Fire Department, the roof on that. We had a work order that there was some leaks on there. And there's metal that sits on top that spans some trusses. And it's been caved in, and I'm not sure how that occurred, but now it's cracked. So we've lifted the metal back up best we could and tried to seal it, but that metal, where that metal's cracked, it'll always leak. So I sent an email to Lori and Brett, and we're just gonna have to look at, I would probably recommend resheeting it and either go back with metal or whatever, but when that building's been there for, yeah, I mean, a lot of these fire stations, we're just noticing they just need a lot of attention to them, and we had just never been really directed to do work orders, but I think it's going along good. The training center, it's getting all rewired. Half of the lights in there were never functioning. We've got those, I think they'll probably be done today or tomorrow. Those are all working now. LED lights we put in there, as long as we're redoing them, we might as well put LEDs in, so. I think that's it. I think for the most part, we're kind of on top of those work orders.
And Bill, you'll have all like the bigger bids for the big capital projects ready for us come budget time. And
I think I got them. I think we've got, Ruth driveway, Lund driveway. what was the other one?
McGill bathroom.
McGill bathrooms, that will be on, yeah. We've got, the engineering estimates have already been provided, so for budgeting purpose, you can use, they're very inflated, which is, for me, is good for a budgeting number, but you'll have those and they'll go through the budget process. I don't know how you're gonna handle the roof. I don't know if we can do the roof, fire building in this fiscal year or not.
I'll be
Or that
working
happening.
with, Bert's going to get an estimate. I'll be
Right.
working to see what we have available to appropriate in this fiscal year and if we can get that project done, because sooner is better.
Yeah,
Wait
absolutely.
on that one. But we'll come back in January with that information for you.
Excellent. You got anything to add?
No, I just, looking at this list, there's a lot of things that have been crossed off, so I'm thinking that maybe the next time, there's a lot of numbers of items that have been crossed off, and so I'm thinking that maybe we can reduce this list, take off everything that's been totally finished, and then just concentrate on what's ongoing, for now. If that'll, but you guys have had continual backups, all the colors, and so, anyhow, so I think it's probably time that we go ahead and there's a lot that we can take off now, and then we'll just reduce that, so.
I had a question. Brett, has the morale or recruitment improved since all these attention has been placed on the
Yes.
outline?
Yeah, we're getting a lot better. A lot better morale from everyone. Everybody's willing to work together now.
As a matter of fact, I'm planning on going to the next chiefs meeting and introducing myself
Good.
to the Ely Volunteers. I was gonna do it last month, but I didn't get back from Vegas in time to go ahead and make that a reality, so that they know,
I really noticed a change in morale when Pat come on as city chief. Within probably 2 weeks, the morale just turned right around and it's
Yeah, I
just
don't
taken
think
off.
we wanna go there.
Yeah.
I don't think
No,
we wanna go.
but that's when I noticed a big change and everybody's just happy with the way things are going,
Work
Let's leave it
together.
at that.
so,
Yeah.
Brett, let's
Good.
yeah.
Okay.
And, it looks like all your IT stuff, computers and everything are just about there or done.
Just about there, yeah,
Perfect.
yeah.
thanks to the IT, I mean, it was a tremendous undertaking with very little, we're a small county, we're top heavy as it is, and so, our employees really did, thank you, Elizabeth.
So it's a
Yes.
living
Yes.
process. So as more needs come up, you'll let the committee know and we can address it, right?
Yes,
Yeah, that was my concern, Mike. These lists were kind of put together fast and dirty right out of the gate, and I'm sure some things got missed, so I'd like to make sure that we have a continuing dialogue with the chiefs in these outlying stations to make sure that we add items to the list that were missed initially, or that weren't pointed at the time but are now.
yeah,
And so we can keep rolling with improving their
Yeah.
facilities and their equipment and their training.
yeah, they call pretty much once a week with, just see how things are going and everything, so their dialogue's there with the chief, so
Great.
anything that comes up, they're pretty Johnny on the spot with.
And you're out there visiting with them just about every week as well, right?
Yeah, as much as I get out to them, so.
And so this was, on behalf of the committee that was assigned to do this, and the question is, have we accomplished what that was, they were requested to do? Talking with Brett, he appreciates the fact that we get together following commission meetings to discuss things so that we can keep everything up to date. One of the things you may want to look at is, do you want to go ahead and continue the team effort, or did you want to, now that we have the majority of the list done, have Brett just go on point, and then if he needs anybody from the committee to come back to us. And this is only a discussion update, so there's no action on this, but just food for thought coming in January.
And Brett and I talk regularly, I mean, no less than once a week, sometimes a lot more than
Yeah.
that. Depending on what's
So it might be
going on.
taken care of and we can address it.
Yeah.
All right, anybody else got anything on the report from the committee? Hearing none, we'll just move on. That was discussion only, so we'll go to item 3.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Yeah, you guys are doing a good job. We'll just roll away the door. And then we go to item 3 is discussion of possible action. Direction on the 2019 Jeep purchased as a fire chief vehicle. Elizabeth.
Thank you. This was just put on there because I've had questions from Brett about the vehicle, from emergency management about that vehicle. And I know that there was some cause for concern on behalf of the fire commission after the vehicle was purchased. So the question is, the fire chief has a vehicle, and in speaking with him, he's indicated that the vehicle is relatively small for him to get the equipment in there as far as radio communication, sirens, all that kind of thing, into that vehicle. What is the desire of the fire commission related to that Jeep? Did we want to maintain it in the fire district? Did we want to see if we can go ahead and reallocate via a purchase to a general fund department? I know that I've had multiple departments indicate that they are in need of vehicles. Our maintenance, we have our regular vehicle that we allow people to check out when they travel on county business. That one is, yes.
RAU 8 is the blue expedition we take to travel around. I looked at the mileage last week and it had 86,500 miles on it. And that is our vehicle that go to Carson City a lot, goes to Vegas. Yesterday it went to Elko, so just a suggestion that that vehicle sooner or later will need to be replaced.
Yes, there are also other departments that have expressed an interest in it, including the assessor's office has told me they will need a new vehicle within, I think they put that on their long-term needs list because theirs is getting up there in mileage. The DA's office has expressed an interest in having a vehicle for their department. I believe, I wanna say that there is an outside agency, a state agency here locally that was looking for possibly getting a new vehicle. I don't remember if that was NDI or, and I think it was expressed to me by Captain Swedich and not the sheriff, so he may not know about that. But anyways, so there are different options to take with this Jeep, but we didn't know, and I didn't want anybody to go ahead and start utilizing or altering that vehicle until we really understood what it was the desire of the fire commission to do with that vehicle.
Why don't we look totally within the county? I mean, outside agencies are outside agencies. The county paid for this vehicle. Let's get those who request to have the vehicle, put in a deal. It's a red fire, it's painted red, it looks like a fire vehicle. So if it goes to a different vehicle, whoever that entity is, they may, like you said, the maintenance, they may want to have it painted, but I think we should, that's my opinion, we should stay within county departments that are in need of the vehicle, assess it, see which ones are the most needed, and make a decision. And let's use the Jeep, it's sitting out there, it's brand new,
Yeah.
it's sitting out there, so let's use the Jeep, whoever needs the Jeep, but let's go that route. Unless the commission has a different idea, I think we should just get everybody who wants it to put in for it, write up a reason why they need it, and we can, as a commission, can decide which one is the most needed. Is that okay with you guys? I mean,
You know, the idea I had is, instead of designating it to one department, why not motor pool this thing? We don't, rather than assigning it to one department, if a department needs the vehicle for a certain amount of time, why don't we let them take it and then just bill their budget for the mileage that they utilize it for? And then we can bounce it around and use it for several different departments, and then you just pay for the mileage that you use on it.
that's a good idea, and Bill Calderwood just mentioned that we use the expedition now for all these other trips. That's a good idea, and we could use it that way, and then all the departments can use it. And then with the expedition, we can maybe move that over to whoever doesn't. How's that?
Yeah, that's, in the old expedition, 86,000 miles. Heck, my old truck out there's got 160 and I still hit the road in it. I'd say, cars last a lot longer than they used to. And I think rather than taking this vehicle, assigning it somewhere where it's not gonna get a whole lot of use, let's just use it wherever it's needed and just track mileage.
Good idea.
And put it on the next agenda.
Oh, yes. That's why I just didn't know if you wanted me to do more research or if you would have a solid idea, because this is only for, it is an action item, but I will bring back that. And just for clarification, when we do the expedition currently, we do gas and not a mileage number. But we can,
You get the vehicle through Courtney,
yeah,
I use the vehicle, I use my county credit card to fill it. We request that when we're done using the vehicle, you fill it up, and we don't even wash the vehicle. When you take it, you just run it through the car wash, wash the vehicle, and then the next person comes in line, they do the same thing. They wash it when they take it, and they make sure it's filled when it's done. And I believe the expenses for tires, services are just other sundry, I believe.
yeah, they come into the general fund, so we charge the expenditures out. But it's, instead of doing a per mile, it's just gas, and then we charge the general fund for the expenses related to maintenance on the vehicle.
Anyone else got an idea on, yours was a good idea, Shane?
I think Shane sounds perfect.
I think so too. So let's don't dwell on this, let's, put it on the next, agenda to make it, maybe follow Shane's direction as far as utilizing the vehicle. And maybe, I mentioned the color of the vehicle, maybe check in the,
I think that's about a $10,000 job to paint a vehicle
Yeah, I was
anymore.
gonna say,
I think red's a
nice
wonderful color.
Yeah.
okay, so let's do this. Let's, get a motion to table this item for the next, agenda, and then go forward with Shane's idea, maybe.
I'll make a motion to table.
Second.
Motion by Lori, a second by Ian. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed, none, passed unanimous. Item 4. Item 4 is discussion for possible action, the approval of resolution 2019-58 to augment the White Pine County Fire Protection District Fund from unanticipated and unbudgeted beginning fund balance in the amount of $11,528 for repair to the Cherry Creek Fire Station roof. Elizabeth.
Yeah, it's exactly what it says. We were asked to look at the Cherry Creek issue. Brett went ahead and got an estimate for that. There is not adequate amount of money in maintenance and repair for facilities, so we're just gonna go ahead and augment from beginning fund balance as pursuant to statute to provide for that repair before the situation becomes any worse.
Move to approve. Second.
Motion by Travis, a second by Ian. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? None? Passed unanimous. Item 5. Discussion for possible action, the approval of the monthly financial reports for November 2019. Again, Elizabeth.
Thank you. The reports are in your backup. We are in the middle of transitioning from one financial software to another in the treasurer's office now. They're going over to DevNet, so the revenues are still running a bit behind. We will have those caught up for you in your December reports.
Okay, any questions? I'll look for a motion to approve the monthly financials.
Move to approve.
Motion by Travis,
Second.
second by Shane. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Passed unanimous. Item 6, discussion for possible action. The approval of budget transfers within and between functions or programs within a fund that do not increase the total appropriation of the fund or adjust for approved grants/agency funds. Elizabeth.
Thank you. And these are just net adjustments back and forth. That didn't increase anything, but to go ahead and get the budgets in line where expenditures are falling. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions by anyone? Hearing none, I'll look for a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Ian and second by Lori. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Passed unanimous. Item 7. Item 7 is discussion for possible action, the approval of the minutes from the following fire commission meetings, November 13th, 2019. Are there any additions, subtractions, or corrections?
Motion to approve November 13th minutes.
Motion by Lori, second by Ian. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Passed unanimous. Final thing in the fire commission meeting is public comment. Do we have any public comment on what has taken place in the fire commission meeting? Anything? Anyone? Last call. Hearing none, seeing none. We will close the fire commission meeting and reopen the county commission meeting, and we are right on time. For the 9:30 Hinton verdict, page 2, item 1, is discussion for possible action, the approval of the final, excuse me, of the fiscal year 2019 comprehensive annual financial report for the White Pine County and White Pine County Fire Protection District. Elizabeth Francis, Chad Atkinson, CPA partner of